What's up, kings and queens? It's your boy Dan from Daft Previews, the COVID king. It's still kicking my ass, if I'm being honest with you, but I am feeling a little bit better today. Slept through most of the day, woke up during the Lakers game, checked my slips, and boy, we greened out. So let's recap the day that was. So I shared 4 bets in the last video. Overall, we swept them all. 4-0, baby. VIP, 6-0 in the main plays, plus we hit some value plays. 7.21 units. We had Cade Cunningham over his rebounds and assists. That cash. Julius Randle over his rebounds and assists. Cash money. Stephon Castle over his assist prop. That was plus money. Rudy Gobert plus money for that double-double. He delivered. John Collins made us sweat, but we got there. 15.5 points. And Anthony Davis overs in points. That was easy money as well. VIP also cashed in some value plays. Cade Cunningham. That was a bet on his points prop, rebounds, and assists. Plus 425. Anthony Edwards, that was a play on under in his first quarter points prop, over his 3-pointers made prop, and under his points prop or something like that, plus 400. So the 2 value plays, a little bit of extra profit. So 7.21 units profit for VIP. Also, speaking of the VIP, it's your last chance to join using the code WeBack, which gives you 50% off your subscription. I'm going to deactivate that code after the next set of games. The reason being is can't call it WeBack when we've been back for a minute now. We've had a couple of good winning days back to back to back. So I'm going to end that promo. So if you're interested in checking out VIP, link for that's in the video description below. Now let's go. So we're jumping into Props Madness. Props Madness is the best tool you're going to find for betting on the NBA. I promise you that. If you're interested in checking this thing out, 7-day free trial in the video description below. If you use the code DAFT when you sign up, you'll be getting 25% off. Now, what have I got in store for you guys today? 8 games on. I'm not going to do a deep dive. I still do not have the energy for that, but I'm going to provide you with tons of value. I've got quite a few bets that I've already placed, so I'll take you guys through that. There's like 5 normal bets, straight bets, you could say. And then I've also got some 5 first quarter points props that I'm going to take you through. So that's 10 different bets. As we're flicking around Props Madness, I'll probably give you a bit of a hint of some other things that I've got, but providing with you tons of value today. So be sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Trying to get to 13,000 subscribers, help your boy out. Now let's get into our first pick. Since we're in this Brooklyn Nets game versus 76ers, we might as well talk about it. It's Joel Embiid and it's over his points prop. The line's already started to move since I posted this, but you can still catch it in some pretty good places. So for Joel Embiid, only looking at his points prop in this one, I'm trying to see what I got him for. 27.5 I got. So it's taking a little bit of juice here, but I'm doing 1.25 units on this. Joel Embiid over his points prop this season. He's only hit it once in the 4 games since he's been back. 35 points most recently up against the Memphis Grizzlies. 35 minutes, 21 shot attempts, 14 free throws. The foul merchant is back. And I think this is to be expected. We did bet he's under when he first came back. Now that he's a couple games in, you can assume he's shaking off a little bit of rust. And I like the opportunity here. I think he's got a really good matchup. This is a cup game after all. But key things here is what? Paul George isn't there. So Joel Embiid's going to see a ton of usage. Maxey will still be on a minutes restriction. And this Brooklyn Nets team, they've been getting feasted on by bigs all season. Also, Nick Claxton, he's a game time decision. So they're going to be missing some size down low. Whether he plays or not, Joel Embiid is going to have a big advantage here. So points prop definitely the way. He's on a 2-day rest. So Joel Embiid should be ready to go get it. If he plays 35 minutes, this is easy money. Last game, 1 from 5 from deep, 10 for 21 from the floor, 48% from the field. It's the best game he's had so far. And if you break these games down, his percentages have gotten better and better in every single game. Up against the Nets here that propose a good matchup for you for Joel Embiid. Like the one thing I like about the Nets, they're dead last in pace this season. If they play nice and slow, it's better for Joel Embiid's legs. I'll tell you that. They're in the bottom half of the league in terms of points allowed in the paint. We know Joel Embiid likes to get inside, do some work. Joel Embiid also getting to the free throw line like an animal, and this Brooklyn Nets team can't help themselves. They be fouling everybody. So Joel Embiid, that's the first prop that I wanted to share with you all. Let's jump into the next game. What do we have? Celtics versus the Wizards. And I've got a couple of looks here. I've got 3, if I'm being honest with you. And let's talk about it. The first one I do like is Jordan Poole. Took his over in his points prop, 18.5. I got that for close to plus money, though. So the odds have started to move a little bit. But, yeah, provided it doesn't get to 19.5, I think 18.5 is a good number. Now, he's hit this line in 9 out of 13 games this season, averaging 21 points per game. Up against the Boston Celtics today, the spread is 15.5 points. So the Celtics, there's a high probability that they blow them off the park. They did lose to the Celtics by 20 on opening night. But Even in that loss, Jordan Poole still scored 26 points in that game, 6 3-pointers made, 9 for 17 on the field. And why do we like this one? It's purely based on the matchup. The way the Boston Celtics play defense, they just play straight up, man on man, switch on everything. There's no double teams. They limit assists like crazy, but they do allow people like Jordan Poole to score some points. Now, using Props Madness, we can check to see. Jordan Poole scores a lot of his points as a pick and roll ball handler. This Boston Celtics team, bottom 4 in the league in defending the pick and roll. And it's all by design. Happy to let Jordan Poole score here, provided he's not diming up to everybody else. Now, when Jordan Poole has seen similar matchups this season against the bottom half, when it comes to pick and roll defense, check that out. 7 out of 8 games he's gone over this line, averaging 24 points per game. Against these teams, they aren't very good at defending the pick and roll. The lone game he went under was against the New York Knicks, and that was a recent game here. 27 minutes, only scored 8 points and only took 7 shots in that game. I think that's the outlier here. What you can rely on is the fact that when Jordan Poole has the right matchup, he's going to let those shots fly. So I do like Jordan Poole here in a bounce back spot. You can see it in this graph. Hasn't had 2 bad games back to back when it comes to scoring the ball. Had his worst offensive game of the season against the New York Knicks. Now he's up against Boston. Going to give him a good matchup to score some points, and I think Jordan Poole does. Now, my other 2 plays, looking at the Boston Celtics, the first one is on Jaylen Brown. Now, I took this at 23.5. Some have it, FanDuel has it at 24.5 already, and I imagine that this closes at 24.5, but I did take his over 23.5 here against Washington. He's averaging 24.6 points per game on the season. He's hit this line in 7 out of 10 games. He's got a great matchup here against the Wizards. He scored 27 against them earlier in the season, so that's a nice one. But let's talk about the matchup for a second. Jaylen Brown, how does he score his points? In transition, from the free throw line, in the pick and roll, and a little bit as a spot-up shooter. The Washington Wizards, not great at defending any of these things. Jaylen Brown also scores a lot of his points around the bucket, and this Washington Wizards team, bottom 5 in the league at defending that. So in terms of matchup, it is ideal for Jaylen Brown. This Washington team, everybody knows it, not good at defense at all. I think a lot of players from the Boston Celtics have potential to go over today. You know I'm not fucking with Jason Tatum because I'm a hater, and 28.5 seems a little bit high. For Jaylen Brown at 23.5, give me that. A 70% hit rate, an ideal matchup against a team that's going to play with a lot of pace. There's going to be a lot of transition opportunities, which is where Jaylen Brown scores a lot of his points. So he can get some free looks, free layups, dunks, and stuff like that. So Jaylen Brown to get some buckets. I'm all over that. Over 23.5. Let's go. And the next one, I'm taking Peyton Pritchard over his 12.5. Now, usually when I do these types of videos, a lot of the time Peyton Pritchard's lines, they're not available for me just yet. So I'm going to kind of get them before the game starts. Thankfully, the gambling gods have released these lines nice and early, and it's at 12.5. Happy to take that. Now, Peyton Pritchard's hit this in 7 out of 10 games this season when he plays with Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and Drew Holiday. I don't even know why I have these filters in there. Let's take a look. 11 out of 15 games on the season. Averaging 15 points per game, a 73% hit rate. Scored 15 points against Washington earlier this season. He was 5 for 10 from deep in that game. Played quite well, but didn't take near the volume of shots that he's capable of taking. But at 12.5, I'm happy to take that here because what is there? There's a blowout risk. I think Peyton Pritchard will see time whether there is a blowout or whether there isn't. He's going to get some wide open looks. He's going to be their spark plug off the bench. So he's going to get a whole lot of shots, a lot of opportunity here, provided he shoots a decent percentage. Peyton Pritchard should go over this line. I think it's a little bit too low. He's averaging 15 per game. The line's here at 12.5. He's got a great matchup for his play type, and he's scorched them earlier this season. Last season, he killed them as well. So Peyton Pritchard to go over his points prop. It's another one that I do like. Now, I've got a couple more to go through. I just realized there's probably like 6 or 7 bets. I've been busy. But skipping a few games here. So when I looked at the slate, the first thing I thought of, Philly, Joel Embiid, no PG, let's get it. Celtics v Wizards, there was always going to be an opportunity there. And then I skipped the Warriors game. That didn't excite me at all, but I went straight to the Pacers and Bucks, and I thought we got to bet on Giannis here. It's either we're betting on Giannis to go over his points prop or we're betting on Dame to go under his assist prop. I can talk about both of them for you, but I ultimately went with Giannis over his points prop. I got him at 31.5. There's still a few 31.5s on the board as I record this, but this line is going to move. This matchup is excellent for Giannis. Now, let's talk about it. He's only hit this in 6 out of 14 games this season, averaging 32 points per game. So what you need to do is find the games where he has an ideal matchup where you think Giannis is going to pump. And I think against this Pacers team, he's definitely going to. The Pacers, the way they play defense is they limit the assist volumes very well, but they let anybody score at the rack whenever they want to. And who likes scoring at the rack more than Giannis? Absolutely nobody. This guy's an absolute machine, attacking the basket, out in transition, working the isolation. He does it all. So in all the ways that Giannis likes to score points, this Pacers team is not good at defending them. So Giannis should absolutely eat them alive. Dame is back. I get that. But Giannis, he's going to be the person who eats first. And when he starts eating, I don't think he's going to stop. 31.5 here for Giannis. I like the over. He's got a great matchup here against the Pacers. Give me that. Let's talk about Dame and his assists. So this is one that I was going to bet. It was going to be Dame. It was going to be Giannis. Ultimately went with Giannis. Dame, a little bit sweaty here. So looking at it under 7.5 assists, though. This is a very high line. He has had 2 games where he's had 10 plus assists, though. But his potential assist numbers haven't been great. 13 and 14. He's also up against a Pacers team who was top 5 in terms of assists allowed. In a way, similar to Boston, they're happy to play one-on-one. They're going to let Dame take as many shots as you want to. So the volume might be there. Dame hasn't been scoring the ball quite well, hasn't been shooting well at all. So the assist unders, it was a strong consideration. But if the points aren't dropping for Dame, maybe he naturally falls into passing the ball a little bit more than he normally would. That was my hesitation. With Giannis, I think he's got to put his head down and score. The only way Giannis does not hit this points line, obviously outside of ejections and injuries, foul trouble, is if Dame's going crazy and Brook Lopez is going crazy. I think both of them going crazy in the same game. I highly doubt that from occurring. So I do like Giannis to go over his points prop. Now let's get into the next game. It's the Hawks versus the Bulls. And I'm not lying to you when I say this. I'm going to have at least my bets down on this game. I always bet when the Hawks play and I always bet when the Bulls play. And now they're playing each other in a cup game. This is going to be wild. Well, I hope it is. But let's talk about the different plays. The very first one I jumped on straight away, which I'm sure everybody would have done it as well, is Trae Young. And looking at his assist prop, there were 10.5s available earlier when I was putting my bets down. But I ultimately took the 11.5 nice and early for plus money. You can still get it 11.5 for plus money anyway. But Trae Young and his assists, man, it's a wagon. He's averaging 11.6 assists per game this season. He's hit this line in 8 out of 15 games. He's presented with the best matchup in basketball up against the Chicago Bulls, who allow the most assists per game. Full stop. They play at the fastest pace. These 2 teams is going to be running up and down. It's going to look like a LA Fitness out there. Last time when he played the Bulls, 16 assists from 23 potentials. Now, Trae can get 20 potential assists from time to time. He can definitely do that. But what's crazy is just the volume of passes that actually lead to an assist for Trae Young, sky high, because neither team's playing defense here. So I think Trae Young kills his assist prop alive at 11.5. More than happy to take it. Usually I wouldn't be, but against this team, I'd be all over that. I think if you take it at 10.5 minus 140 or 150 or whatever it was, like you're leaving a lot of food on the table. Just take the 11.5, get the plus money, and get the hell out of there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I do like that. Trae Young. Now, the next play that I do have actually it correlates with Trae Young getting them dimes. And we're looking at Clint Capella and his points prop in this one. 11.5. And he's hit this in only 7 out of 16 games. You can get it at 10.5 in some places as well. He's averaging 11 points per game this season. The last game he played against the Bulls, he set a season high 20 points in that game, 8 for 14. And of course, if Trae Young is popping off 10 to 15 assists in this game, you can guarantee that Clint Capella is going to be getting some of them. He'll also be getting some putbacks. He scores in the pick and roll. This Bulls team, worst team in the league at defending the pick and roll. So they give it the most assists, and they're the worst team at defending the pick and roll, man. Trae Young, Clint Capella, they're going to be having a party in there, pick and rolling all over these motherfuckers. So Clint Capella, I do like his over in his points prop. You can get this at 10.5 in some places, which is a bargain. So jump on Clint Capella to go over his points prop and Trae Young to go over his assist prop. Now, those are 6 straight bets that I already have down, and I can guarantee you no one else is going to give you that many picks. So be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel because your boy's getting busy. Leave me a comment down below for the algorithm. You can say whatever you like. I do not give a damn. Just say something and help your boy grow. Trying to get to 13,000 subscribers. Now, 6 picks, yeah, that's tons of value. Is anyone else doing 6 picks? Probably not. But we're not going to stop there. So I'm going to take you through some of the first quarter points props that I've already got down. I think there's 5 of them. So buckle up, boys. Now, let's go. So now we're looking at first quarter points props. And this whole idea started pretty much with players in this game. Dyson Daniels and Nikola Vucevic have been an absolute wagon. I've been betting their first quarter points prop for ages now. And I'll show you why, because it's been cashing like a mofo. Firstly, Dyson Daniels, let's take a look at his. Now, his points prop was normally at 2.5. It moved to 3.5 recently, and that makes total sense to me. What I love about this is I've taken the over 3.5. I got it at plus money, plus 105. And just check out these numbers. Like the hit rate for Dyson Daniels is crazy. 4, 5, 6, 7 consecutive games he's gone over this points prop. He's versed the Bulls earlier this season, went over the points prop there. So that's pretty much all it is. Over 3.5. Dyson Daniels scores in transition, gets to the rim. This Bulls team, they ain't defending nothing. So I think this is absolutely free. Dyson Daniels to go over his first quarter points prop is a lock. I did dive deeper in this a while ago, and pretty much Dyson Daniels, he takes the second amount of shots for this Atlanta Hawks team in the first quarter, the third most in the second quarter, and then in the third and fourth, he's like fourth or fifth. So definitely at the start of every game, Dyson Daniels is getting busy. He's going to get the shots up. He just needs to shoot them at 50%, and he's going to cash this. So I do like the over there for Dyson Daniels. The next one is Nikola Vucevic, and his first quarter points prop is the beast of all first quarter points props. 14 out of 16 games, he's gone over 4.5 points. Now, they keep leaving the line at 4.5. They don't move it up. The odds have gotten a little bit worse, but the hit rate on this is absolutely astonishing. 14 out of 16 games this season, he's gone over it. It's probably easy to talk about the games he didn't go over it. Against Orlando, he was 1 from 4, and against the Utah Jazz, playing 7 minutes, he was 1 from 3. Now, Nikola Vucevic is often hitting a three-pointer in the first quarter, especially when his legs are fresh. Up against Atlanta here, not great defensively. Atlanta defensive rating in the bottom 10. They play with a ton of pace. Nikola Vucevic is going to get his. Up against Clint Capella, he'll play a little bit of drop coverage. So if Josh Giddey gets in the pick and roll with Nikola Vucevic, he's going to find himself wide open at the top of the key. So I do like that, Nikola Vucevic. And honestly, I think both teams score about 30 points or more in the first quarter. Nikola Vucevic has to chip in at least 5 of those. Come on, man. All right, checking to see who else I got down here. A couple of others who are wagons, actually. I've spoken about this guy on the videos before. We're looking at Klay Thompson in his first quarter points props. Take a look at this. Line's at 3.5. He's hit it out 10 out of 15 games this season. Up against Denver, he cashed against them earlier this season. But one thing I've noticed about the Dallas Mavericks is that they're always looking to get Klay Thompson involved very early in games. You can see it in the volume. He doesn't always shoot the best, but he takes about 5 shots at least in the first quarter. We just need him to make 2 of those. So another thing I like about this, no Klay Thompson. Now, Klay Thompson wasn't there. Not Klay Thompson. No Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic was missing in the game against OKC. Klay Thompson didn't shoot well in that first quarter. He was 1 from 5. The good thing is he took 5 shots. So the volume still exists. He just needs to make 2 shots, and he's going to go over here. So I do like Klay Thompson over his first quarter points prop. The next one, we're heading to the Kings and the Clippers, and then we'll head back to the Boston game. And in this particular one, I've bet on James Harden in the first quarter a few times, and this is why. The hit rate on it is pretty good. 9 out of 16 games this season, averaging 7 points per game in the first quarter. He's up against the Sacramento Kings today. He's got a decent matchup. James Harden, season high in the first quarter is 15 points, and it was up against the Sacramento Kings. We're in the look of him to score 7 points in this game. I definitely think he can do that. He's scoring like almost 40-something% of his points in the first quarter this season. So it's a pretty nice look here for James Harden, who's usually a fast starter. No Norm Powell. He's going to have a high usage rate. James Harden, take all the shots you want, my boy. Cash that first quarter points prop. Now, my last one to share with you guys is in the Boston Celtics versus the Washington Wizards. Now, first quarter points prop. You're probably thinking, he's going to bet on Jason Tatum. Is it a Jaylen Brown, a Derek White, perhaps? Maybe an Al Horford. It's none of those guys. It's this guy, Sam Hauser. Now, Sam Hauser, his points line in the first quarter is only 1.5, but check out this hit rate. Boom! 9 out of 12 games this season. He's averaging 2.4 points per game in the first quarter. We need 2 points in order to cash this play. Now, Sam Hauser, he plays about 4 to 5 minutes in the first quarter. 4 to 5 minutes. And let's be honest, Sam Hauser's decent defensively, but he doesn't do anything outside of shoot. So if he's on the court, in the limited time that he's going to have, he's going to put up some shots. He's averaging about 2 shots per game in the first quarter. What we need is for him to make 1 of them. I know. What a crazy bet. But hoping he can get there. He's got a good matchup here against Washington. He scores most of his points from above the break threes, and this Washington team is dog shit at defending them. So give me Sam Hauser to score 1 bucket in the first quarter. I know it's pretty degenerate, but these plays have been cashing well for me. And if I bet enough of them, provided I get 3, I'm looking good. If I get 4, even better. If I get 5, I'm the first quarter point prop guide. So we shall see. But that's all I got for you. I'm gonna edit this video out and then get some rest, send it all out to you guys, and best of luck. Like, check out my VIP, honestly. And if you don't check out my VIP, at least sign up to the free section. The free section gets free picks every single day, depending on what I'm betting on. But look, if you made it this far, I honestly appreciate you. You know that I do. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.